Welcome to this brief webinar on what is food security. I'm going to talk you through the definition of food security and a number of the dimensions or aspects that influence food security. So what is food security defined? Food security is a complex concept that evolves and changes as knowledge and information arises from things such as world events, research, and through practice. We know that the Food and Agricultural Organization of the United Nations focuses on physical, social, and economic access to food. And that food needs to be in sufficient quantities, it needs to be safe so that it is not mouldy or poisonous to people, and it needs to meet their dietary needs. So that means it's nutritious, there's a variety of nutritious food, and really importantly, it meets their food preferences. So this is the food that they like to eat, but also their cultural preferences too. So the foods that they have grown up with, that they are familiar with, and that has cultural significance to them. And all of this together will help them achieve an active and healthy life. So really critically, it's those three factors: physical access, social access, and economic access to food. Now I'm going to talk you through this range of dimensions or aspects that link to those particular factors of food security. Of course, this food security framework is not all-inclusive, but it just shows a range of those dimensions or aspects. At the food availability dimension, we need to make sure that food is available for people in outlets or alternative food networks, that food is a sufficient price and of good quality, that healthy food is well promoted, that food outlet locations are easily accessible, and that there is a variety of food available to purchase. At the food access dimension, we have social support and networks, which are important to help people with that social access to food. We have financial resources for individuals and households. We have transport to food outlets such as active transport, public transport, and private transport. We also have the distance to outlets in terms of how far people need to travel to access their food. And we also have mobility, which includes the potential mobility or physical constraints people may have which make it difficult for them to access food. At the food utilisation dimension, we have nutrition knowledge and cooking skills. So this is once people have found available food and they're able to access it. This is about using it in an appropriate way to maximise nutrient needs and prepare food safely. We have food preferences, which includes taste preferences. We have food safety, so people storing and preparing food in a safe way. We also have storage facilities and cooking facilities, so people having sufficient storing and cooking facilities to utilise the food. Then we have time to purchase and prepare food, which is about people having sufficient time to purchase and prepare their food. We also have IT or technology literacy. So this is about having sufficient access and knowledge to use technology to complete activities such as ordering groceries, finding recipes, and interpreting nutrition information. And then we have culture and attitudes, beliefs and values, which include cultural and religious preferences. Next, we have the stability of the food availability, access, and utilisation aspects. This can be impacted by factors such as weather variability. Certainly, in parts of Australia, we might have cyclones or other weather events that may cause roads to be blocked off. This means that food freight cannot get into towns and communities as regularly as it needs to. Then we have political factors, such as policy or trade issues between different countries that could impact these aspects. And then we have economic factors, such as fluctuations in the economy, which impact the price of food. The agency dimension refers to the capacity of individuals and groups to exercise control over their own circumstances. So this is people having ownership about the food they're eating. It also refers to providing meaningful input into governance processes, so people having voice to shape policies around food security. Agency is important in addressing inequalities and power imbalances within food systems. Finally, the sustainability dimension refers to the food system practices that respect and protect the ecosystems. So these are those practices that contribute to long-term regeneration of the environment to ensure that people's current food needs are met without compromising food needs for people in the future. I hope you've enjoyed this brief webinar on the definition of food security and some of the dimensions or aspects of food security. Of course, as I mentioned, there are various other factors, including socio-demographic factors such as education and economic implications that influence food security as well. But we have not explored those structural underpinning factors today. We've tried to take a wide view of looking across these dimensions or aspects to really give you a sense of all of those different factors that are involved in determining whether someone has that physical, social, and economic access to food.